Hello, my name is Charlie. I'm 19 and welcome back to the Snail-Galaxy. Today I'm doing an entirely different video from what I usually do. I am an incredibly positive person. I always want to have like a positive space around me that people can feel comfortable in, and I want to have this channel as a positive space that people can feel comfortable in and like relate to people within and things like that. But if there's one thing I've learned, especially in the past year, but I guess over the course of my life, it's that negative things have to be brought to light, and sometimes even negative things have to happen for positive change to happen. And I think that's applicable to a lot that's going on right now, not just this one thing. This is something that really needs to be out there, and I have a little bit of a platform, and I'd like to share what I've seen and maybe bring this to light. So where should I begin? So I love family vlogging channels. I've watched them since I was a little kid and I started watching YouTube. I think some are really good. I watched Bertaley for years. I love Crazy Middle. They've adopted like 20 kids and they have 2 biological kids, and they talk about their journeys with foster care and all these different sibling groups coming together to live as one family. It's an incredibly just sweet channel where I feel like they respect the kids. They have all these, it's very educational about not just raising kids, but raising kids with all different like abilities and things like that, but it still doesn't like overshare about the children if they don't want anything shared. Like they say they don't make the kids be in the videos, and that some kids just aren't in the videos and we don't see them. So yeah, anyways, for example, I think Crazy Middles, they're an awesome example of a really cool family channel. That being said, there's this family channel called 8passengers. So there's 2 parents and 6 kids, and they live in Utah, and I've been watching them for about 2 years. I don't watch every video, but I do consistently see them and watch them. Originally I didn't see anything that might be wrong. I definitely saw that the parent-child dynamics and stuff were different in the house, but that's pretty like normal to me because of course everyone's family is different. But then as I kept watching, I started to notice a little bit of control on the mom's part, and I also dismissed this because I thought, well, it's their family. It's not, I don't think it's like abusive, it's just maybe a little more controlling than I would be able to deal with. But then recently they've been openly posting some things that are kind of abusive towards their children. For one thing, we found out in the last video that the 15-year-old son, Chad, he, as punishment, had been sleeping on a beanbag chair in the living room for 7 months, which is, I believe, is bordering on abuse, and I actually looked it up. And the rule for foster kids is that every kid has to have their own bed to sleep in. But when I looked up the rules for biological kids, it just said that they needed a safe place to sleep. So it is a little, you see what I mean, where it's like a little hazy. But then there's another thing where 3 of the 6 kids say that they don't have any friends, and that and one of them said that they pushed their friends away because they felt they weren't supported by them, which again is fair and makes sense. However, just looking at the channel and looking at the amount of control that the mother seems to have over the children and their public image, I think it could be cause for concern. And this is where I kind of want us to start looking at family channels and like really looking at the kids who are on them and thinking, are they consenting to this, and does everything seem okay? And of course we only see the edited vlogs too, so like, is there potential for more happening? Did we see like a hint of something here? And if that does seem like very nosy and like too much, I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, as soon as something's put on YouTube and we see it and we think there might be like a risk of some sort of child abuse or anything, then we should, it becomes our responsibility to say something about it. So that's what I'm doing now, is I'm saying something about it with the little platform that I have. So another thing is with the privacy of children online and with the control of the parents over the kids' public images. So essentially the mother of this family has almost complete control over her children's like public image. She gets to show whatever she wants, and she shows some more embarrassing and private moments of her kids, and that's another thing where it's hazy, because maybe the kids did consent to it, but she'll say things like, oh, my kids smell so bad, and like she'll talk about her son's like bedwetting and things like that, even about her younger kids, who I feel can't entirely consent to this being shown to 2.5 million subscribers. She's also cut off her kids from electronics, which of course is not a problem in itself. Like, there are plenty of reasons why kids might not have electronics, but she still takes photos and videos of her kids every day as her job / main source of income. Pretty much. She does like semi-daily vlogs, I think every 2 or 3 days. She doesn't allow most of her kids to have a phone to text their friends or see like social media and things like that. And I feel that if children are being broadcast on YouTube, they should also get control over their public image in the way that they should be able to see it, and they should be able to see things like comments if they do have them turned on, things like and the videos that go up, and the videos and photos that are put up on Instagram and YouTube, and maybe they see them all, I don't know, but there are several things that have struck me as off, and I'm not the only one for sure. After the last video where pretty much all of her kids seem pretty upset, and she sort of laughs about the fact that her son hasn't had a bed or a bedroom for 7 months, and she seems just pretty happy with it, as if it's sort of more normal. And even amidst the pandemic, she's not letting the kids have electronics to talk to their friends, and I feel that may be lonely. But the thing is, I'm not, okay, but pushing away all of that, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not someone who can really judge and say this is too much or this is abuse or anything, but I think generally we need to pay attention to kids being posted online, because I think a lot of YouTube families get away with posting a lot of their kids, and especially at ages when they can't really consent to being shown to 2.5 million people. And again, I love family vlogs, I think they can be so great, but there's something odd going on here with 8passengers, and I'd love for it to be investigated. And I'm not alone with this. If you look up, there's a TikTok user who's been posting videos with sort of evidence of something strange going on. I'll put that here. There are a lot of people calling like Utah Child Protective Services just to like have a check-in. And the thing is, this isn't the first time this has happened with like a YouTube family, where they might be forcing the kids to be on camera when they don't want to be. Things might not be as good behind closed doors. Like as I said, no one who was watching the videos knew. We hadn't been told that their 15-year-old had been sleeping on the floor or on a beanbag chair for 7 months. And so I think if we do see something that looks like a red flag or a warning sign, we should start to take on that responsibility of reporting it if we do see it on YouTube, because I want to make sure everything's okay. And it's not my responsibility, but it's my responsibility now, because I've seen several things on the 8passengers channel that don't look right, and I will list some more things and some more links to evidence and things like that in the description and in the comments section. But essentially, I think we need to start paying attention to what YouTube kids are up to and how much control they really have over what's going on with their, YouTube presence and stuff. I think that's all I've got to say. I know it was a little bit all over the place. I know it was weirdly opinionated for any of my videos, but please think about what I've said. Please tell me if I've missed anything or if you disagree. I'd love to hear things. I'm literally just learning stuff, but I've seen some red flags, as I said, and I couldn't ignore them. Hello, I kept going until my camera was absolutely on its last legs and switched itself off. But my closing statement is just that we shouldn't ignore the kids on YouTube. Once we start watching family vlogs, it almost is our responsibility to make sure that the kids are okay. And yes, I know they're not our kids and parenting is up to the parents, But I mean, if we see something that is potentially dangerous or abusive, that's something we should start standing up against, because I know there are other family channels that are that show some red flags as well, including the Ace family, and there are a lot of videos on that, and I can refer you to some of those. But my closing statement is that kids deserve to be safe. It doesn't matter if they're like YouTube stars, you know what I mean? Like, they deserve to have the right to privacy. They have the right to pick and choose what is shown of them online, and of course they have the right to be safe in their own home. So if you see anything dodgy, then do something about it, say something about it, please. And that's what I'm doing now with the 8 passengers. And please go do your own research and find out more about their situation, what's going on right now. But thank you so much for watching. Have a safe and happy day. Try to. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.